Hi guys, I'm Jessica and I just wanted to take a minute to introduce myself and share a little bit of my story with you. I think that what I am asking you guys to share with me as a coach, or even if you're just interacting with me through my courses or in the different groups that we're all a part of, I'm asking you to share some pretty deep stuff. So I thought I should probably share my story, make sure that you understand where I'm coming from and that there's no judgment here and that we're all on the same team. So before I get started, I just want to point out, excuse my room. My husband and I currently rent one bedroom, so my whole life is kind of packed into this little bitty room slash office. And you might hear grunts and snorts throughout the video. My dogs are playing right next to me, so there's puppies, there's a cat, and here's my whole life. Enjoy. All right, so to get into my story, I want to take you back a couple years. We're not going to stay. The past is not a place to live. If you're still living there, I got you, and we're going to work on this together. But I want to tell you my story. So, in high school, I wrote an essay that began, and I'm going to read it to you here. I got home from school to find him drunk again, storming about the house. My baby brother sat in his bouncer in a diaper that leaked down his legs. That was when I was about 12 years old, the time I was talking about. And I don't really remember a lot of specifics from those days, but what I remember is the feeling. I remember just this gloom. We always had the house so dark. I remember feeling tired all the time and like I was underwater. Everything was just kind of numb. My conversations, when people would talk with me, I felt like the words coming out of my mouth were like bubbles underwater. Nothing felt real. Nothing felt fully alive. Nothing felt complete. Shh. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're being very loud. So, let me think. Sorry, they lost my focus. All right, so I remember being so aware of the sad looks in people's eyes. I remember my teachers looking just so disappointed and heartbroken. And I remember my friends not knowing what to do when I would get to school and just cry on their shoulder because leaving my house was all I wanted to do, but at the same time, I was terrified for my little brother. And it was heavy, and everybody around me looked so sad whenever they saw me. And I felt like that was my fault. That really weighed on me. I mean, I knew I wasn't in control of the situation, but getting those sad looks, those disappointed looks from everybody around you, it weighs on you, and you don't want them to feel sad, or at least I didn't. And so I learned from an early age that people were disappointed in me, and that I wasn't living the life that they wanted me to live, and that I was letting them down. I learned from an early age to be afraid of the world around me and that everybody has these ulterior motives. I learned to be skeptical of every kind gesture. I learned that anyone who loved their life, especially their job or who was financially successful, they got there because they were a cheat and because they were a liar and they stepped on other people to get there. The culture I grew up in, it taught me that every nice thing a person does or every nice thing a person says wasn't really about me. It was about something that they thought they could gain by doing that. And I struggled to feel comfortable, first in school and then as I grew up in college and in jobs. I never felt like I really connected with people. I never felt like I belonged. And I would do amazing work. I was really smart. I was determined. When I set my mind to something, I was amazing at it. And I don't know. I have that drive. And when I get excited about something, when I'm passionate about it, when I love doing it, I'm good at it. And when I'm good at something, I'm amazing at it. And I'm not saying that as kind of a conceited way. I'm just saying it as this is something I'm very kind of type A personality. When I commit to something, I do it and it's amazing. But I would have all these opportunities come my way. I would rock job interviews and just do an amazing job for a couple weeks, or I would make a new friend and be so excited about it. And then, I don't know, a few weeks would kind of pass and I would start to have these doubts and these insecurities, and I would feel like a fraud. I would feel like that amazing work wasn't really me, like that wasn't genuine. And I would sabotage it. I would find one issue with the company or with someone at work and blow it all out of proportion and convince myself it was a reason to quit. or I would stop taking calls or stop texting back, or I would just not be as engaged with people because I thought they were amazing and I just wasn't worth being their friend. I wasn't worth their time and they probably only pitied me. But after a while, I came to realize that was all wrong. Those are lies. And they're horrible lies, and they're lies that so many of us tell ourselves. But it's just not true. It's not true. Those are limiting beliefs that come from years, even months, but especially years and years of abuse, of someone saying negative things to you over and over and over, of being stuck and feeling powerless. That's where those beliefs come from, but that doesn't mean that they're true. And that's what I want to share. That's what I'm here for. I've come through child abuse. I've been raped. I've suffered multiple miscarriages. I have cystic fibrosis. It's a chronic disease that's never going to go away. I was born with it. And it used to scare me a lot. It put an expiration date on my life. I was told that I was going to die before I was 15. And then before I was 30, I had a midlife crisis in high school. So I know what it feels like to be limited from so many different angles. I know what it feels like to be told from the outside, and I know what it feels like to have your head agree with it and to have these thoughts coming 24/7, to carry that weight, to feel numb, to feel unfulfilled, to feel like you're not enough. I know what it feels like. But I've been working for years and years, for so long. I know I've got a baby face, but I promise I'm old enough to have been doing this for a few years, okay? And in 2016, I realized that I wanted to be trustworthy. I'd gotten to a point where I couldn't trust myself at all. I didn't know what feelings were real. I didn't know what I was serious about when I got excited because I was always diving into things and getting so passionate overnight. I would invest money in things like painting supplies and instruments and all these creative endeavors that I thought were going to be so much fun, that I was sure were just my calling. And then, again, just like I had gained the passion, I would lose it overnight. And so I didn't believe myself about anything. I didn't know if I was actually unhappy when I thought I was unhappy. I didn't know if I was actually happy when I was happy. I didn't know if what I was excited about was genuine or if it was just another way to distract myself. So I started being honest. I read the 4 Agreements, which is amazing. If you haven't read it, I really recommend it. But I read the 4 Agreements, and the first one is to be impeccable with your word. And I decided I was sick of not being trustworthy. I was sick of not being able to rely on myself and of not knowing that at least I could trust my own mind. So I started being honest. If I didn't want to go to something, I told them, I'm sorry, but I just don't feel like it today. I didn't make excuses. I didn't say I was sick or that I got called into work. I told the truth. And when I started telling the truth, when I held myself accountable and started being honest about everything, my life started to change. And I started to be more careful with my time. I started to value myself more. And I started to realize that I could rely on myself. I learned to be consistent and to only commit to things that I would follow through on. And these are such small things. They're things that happened one day at a time. It wasn't a massive change. I didn't move a mountain. I didn't have this moment where the clouds parted and everything just came to light and got perfect. It was such a long journey. And I did a lot of it by myself. And that's kind of what brought me into coaching, is that I had people around me that loved me and that supported me, but they didn't really know how to help me through those limiting beliefs because they hadn't been there. They hadn't gone through the trauma and the abuse that I'd been through. So as much as they loved me, they couldn't force me to see the empowering truth, the incredible, beautiful truth about who I was, about the universe having my back, about how abundant the world around us really is. Nobody could force me to see that. I had to find it for myself. And as a coach, I still believe that. I know that if you're my client, I can't make you see how incredible you are. I can't make you see that your dreams are possible. I wish I could. It'd be much easier, but I can't. But what I can do is I can hand you the map. I can show you how I did it. I can offer you insights. When those limiting beliefs are there, they're like blinders, and you can't see what's going on around you. But if you have a coach, if you have someone there who knows not only what it looks like from inside those blinders, but who's broken free of them and can tell you from the outside, maybe look in this direction, maybe turn your head this way, maybe tell this belief this. I think that's so powerful. I think it's important. And I think that just investing in your mind and having your mind become a beautiful place, that's huge. That's so major. That's incredible. And I think that while I did this by myself to an extent, not everybody has to. And you shouldn't have to. Nobody deserves to have to overcome it alone. No one deserves to have to listen to that voice and only that voice and just have this constant battle between the limiting beliefs and the empowering truth all by themselves. That's so much weight to carry around. Not as much as carrying those limiting beliefs, but it's so much. And I don't want you to have to do that by yourself. And that's why I'm here. I found my way to peace and love and joy and abundance. I don't even know. I don't even remember exactly how it feels to be so trapped and weighed down because it's been that long. When I first started working on myself, when I created the vision board I have over here, the feeling didn't stick. I would get waves of this feeling where everything fell into place and I felt amazing. And then it would disappear and I'd be down again. It was like this constant roller coaster. But after a while, it started to stick, and I've been in this place now for so long, for at least a couple months, if not a year, maybe 2 years. Not 2 years. What I'm saying is I've been in this place for so long that I don't remember what that weight feels like. I remember the gloom. I can picture it. I can picture my sad self. But I don't remember exactly what that feels like. When I'm writing content for you guys, I put myself back in that place and I think about how I felt. And sometimes, it's been so long now, sometimes I have to pull out a journal and read through what I wrote. And that feels amazing. It's worth getting back in there and digging back through it because I want to help you get to this point where you feel so joyful, so abundant, and at peace that you don't remember how it felt. I don't want you to have to keep carrying it around. So it's worth digging back through those journals. It's worth putting myself back there because this is what I'm here to do. I think that it's so powerful. So I'm here, I'm sharing all this baggage with you. I'm talking with you about the most embarrassing, kind of shameful things that I feel like I've ever done. And I'm not afraid. For the first time in my life, I am not afraid. That feels so good. And I want you to think about what your life would feel like if you weren't afraid. I want you to think about all the investments that you make every year, even every day. How many hundreds or thousands of dollars do you spend decorating your space, buying throw pillows, beautiful bedding, home decor, buying makeup, beauty products, coffee, paying to spend time in beautiful places? You make the world around you beautiful. And that's your investment. But why don't you invest in what's inside? You know how they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's true. And no matter how beautiful you make your space, your world, no matter how many beautiful places you go, you're not going to be able to really see and feel and connect with that beauty until the beauty inside of you matches. And I think that we put so much pressure on ourselves to do things alone, to keep the struggle inside and to not show it, and to not show because we don't want to feel weak. But it's not weak. It is not weak. I want to tell you something. I actually recorded this video the other day, and when I got done, I cried because I was so disappointed in it. I was so frustrated because I forgot for a minute something really important. And that's something that I value so much about myself, something that I'm just so grateful for, is that after everything that I've come through, I'm still soft. I'm still kind. I still tear up at every movie. I seriously cried during Deadpool. So I'm still this smiley little giggle box despite everything. I'm still so full of love and light. And I remember patches of my journey where I was angry all the time, and it broke my heart because I didn't want to be angry. I'm going to tear up here. But I didn't want to be angry. I wanted to be kind and loving. I wanted to be like Mother Teresa. I wanted to be like my grandpa, like my dad, like the people who were just so gentle and so kind and who made me feel safe. Sorry. All right, we're getting emotional. But the thing is, it's not weak to share your struggle. It's not weak to want to help other people. It's not weak to put it out there. It's the strongest thing in the world, and it's something that I'm so grateful to still have in myself, that kindness and that love and that desire to share. And if you're here and you're still watching this, I know that's in you too. So I want you to take a chance on yourself. I want you to invest in yourself and give yourself a chance to make that mindset, to make your mind a beautiful place, a safe place to be. I want you to take the chance and dive in and learn how to make what's inside of you feel as good and bright and beautiful as the surroundings you want to be, as the environment you want to be in. I want you to take a chance on yourself because you're worth it, and because I know that you can do this, and because you don't deserve to have this weight anymore. You deserve to be free and abundant. You deserve to create beautiful vision boards and really believe in them and believe in yourself and go for your dreams. And what's more, you deserve to have that life that you dream of. And if you haven't even gotten to the point where you can dream up an even better life, then you deserve to get to the point where you feel free enough and safe enough to even think about another reality for yourself. The life you're living with the struggle and the pain and the weight of the past on your shoulders, it's not even the beginning. Not even the beginning. Because once you put it down, then you're really getting started. So don't waste any more time. Don't waste more time carrying this around. Don't waste more time stubbornly trying to do it by yourself or being afraid of being weak. You're not weak. If you're still watching this, you're the strongest person. You're incredible. You have so much inside of you. And I want to see it. I want to help you bring it out, bring it to life. I want to help you radiate what's inside of you, that passion and that strength. I want to help you show it to the whole world. I want to help you see it in the mirror every time you look. I want to help you feel the freedom and the security and the peace and the pure, raw joy that I feel every single day. Because you deserve it, and so much more. So this got a little long. I'm going to go ahead and stop now. But I would love to get to know you. I would love to talk more. I want to know what your struggles are, what you're hesitating with, what your dreams are, what's holding you back. I'm going to go ahead and put a button down below. I'll share a little more of my story in the text if you're not sick of hearing about me yet. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to hear my story. Thank you for even being on my site and considering doing something for yourself. Doing something as amazing as hiring a coach or even joining courses, doing anything to make your mindset more beautiful, to make your mindset closer to the world around you. Because if you're taking those steps, you're already making the world around you a better place. You're already growing and learning, and you're already shining. And I am so proud of you. So don't give up. The journey is tough. It is. It's not easy. It takes commitment. It takes passion. And it takes so much strength. But I know that you have it in you. So don't give up.